Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of From the Bottom. Today Ruben and I are going to talk about why we started our businesses during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Yep.
And honestly, I think it's interesting, you know what I mean? A lot of people are kind of freaking out, and rightly so, I think. Honestly, there's a lot of unknowns, like I mentioned previously. But again, we're going to mention why, or at least, give our thoughts as to why right now is actually a great time to start a business. So I'm going to hand the mic off over to Ruben, and he's going to get us started for today.
Yeah, so I started my business right when all this, pandemic started I started back in like early March, late February, which, coronavirus was already a thing. We already had, updates about it, cases here.
But we weren't quarantined yet.
We weren't quarantined at all.
Building up. For sure.
It was definitely building up.
Yeah.
Here in San Antonio, we probably didn't have cases yet until I think that cruise ship.
Yeah, people are actually coming in from China to our local air base, and then after
which
that,
is actually like right down the
a
block.
couple of miles away from us.
So that's when I started, and it was weird because I was already working a job, a regular 9 to 5, but I've always liked having extra income, different side hustles, different businesses like on the side, whether it's tiny, whether it's just making me like $50 a week or whatever, it's still something extra.
Great. So
I was already doing my baits, my fishing baits, and then so I moved into the detailing, and it started out of nowhere. I saw someone post on Facebook like, hey, can anyone come wash a car tomorrow? And I was like, hey, yeah, I could go do it for $50, and I went. I did it, and he was like, oh, well, you already did that one, can you do this one? And I did it right then and there. And I thought once all these cases were coming into San Antonio that it was going to slow down. But actually, it made like all these wash tubs, all these car wash places.
Yeah, all the actual businesses, the enterprises shut down.
Yeah, the big businesses shut down. So like no one was able to go wash their cars at these places. And that's when pretty much like me and other detailers in the area, business started to pick up a lot more. Everyone wanted their cars cleaned, but they couldn't really take it anywhere to go get it cleaned. So, I mean, it was a hit or miss, and gladly, we hit, and we actually made it work, and we're still making it work. Business still, good right now, and we actually kept a lot of customers from these wash tub places that they're like, oh, well, you charge us the same price, yet you come to us and do extra stuff, because over there if you want little extra detailing, they obviously charge you $10-$20, and it starts adding up every single week that you take your vehicle.
So it's a better value prop, honestly.
And then it's at their house. They're not sitting there waiting 2 hours to get their vehicle detailed. They could just be at home with their families as we do it outside. Yeah,
that's another level of value that you're offering, as opposed to like the big box stores or the big, like the big entities that are out there providing the same service. So that's your leg up, which is really cool. Obviously as a business, you gotta have a product or a service that has value. It can't just be cheap, but obviously price is a factor, but it's gotta have value. So whatever you're charging has to be a reasonable amount. And obviously there's got to be value in that proposition. So for me anyways, the reason why I started my business was honestly because of the same reasons. Honestly, Ruben and I have been friends for a very long time. We're very like-minded individuals, which is really cool. It's nice to kind of have somebody that's like-minded to kind of bounce ideas off of, and again just kind of share some ideas, whether it's personal or business or whatever the case may be. But again, we both started our businesses right about the same time because we were bouncing ideas off of one another and asking each other, hey, what is the best thing for us to do? Not even with like the whole COVID thing in mind. It's just, again, we're at a certain point in our life and we want to just, again, kind of break free from not just the 9 to 5, but, like the social norms. We don't want to answer anybody, 10, 15, 20 years down the road. We want to work for ourselves and be lucrative and be a blessings to others as we start to acquire employees and things of that nature. So I think that's something that's really important to the both of us and things that we've already previously discussed. But anyways, I kind of came about starting a business earlier in the year, probably around like December, January. I was going through some personal stuff that I was just there was a lot of things going on in my head, and business is always just something that distracted me in a good way. And so, again, bouncing ideas off of Ruben and, some of the conversations we had kind of led us to say, hey, what can I do? and that's when I started, thinking about power washing, based on some, again, like I shared before, some videos that I saw on the internet, and I saw that, the investment was not, a huge sum of money. It wasn't something ridiculous, and it wasn't some, get rich quick scam. And obviously it's work. You got to do the work. Without the work, your business is nothing. And so, I started to think, what is the best way for me to get business? Obviously, you have Facebook and all these other marketing strategies. But honestly, you can't do any of that without the right equipment. But to touch back on why I started was just to have that level of independence. I'm still blessed to have a job, a 9-to-5 that I really thoroughly enjoy. But again, it was just, I want to do something for myself, something greater. I have a mentor that, quit his job one day to the next because they wronged him. And, something like that could happen to anybody. So I wanted to have that sense of security that says, you know what, if I fail, it's because of me and my own accord.
Yeah,
so
if I don't succeed, you're not blaming anyone else.
Yeah, exactly.
That if you fail, it's like, oh, well, it's because you kind of pushed me to do this.
Or I got fired, or the economy took a dump on us, or whatever.
Yeah. So there's always tons of stuff that you can do, regardless of the situation.
Yeah.
There's tons of small businesses that are yet to even start up.
100%.
There's a ton of brands and all types of businesses that we haven't even yet seen that are still on the come up, that people haven't even came up with the idea yet. Yeah. So it's probably going to take another year or so, or years, till someone thinks of something, comes up with something, and then it just starts up, and then it's the next big best thing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But crazy. Again, that's primarily the reason why I started the business, was because my success was in my own hands. Just like, my success is in my own hands, in my own, 9-to-5 job. This is a little bit more personal, because my success is, in fact, in my own hands. Something can happen that is out of my hands. Budgets can shrink. The economy can take a downturn. Someday, somebody could just wake up and say, hey, we don't need you anymore. So you're expendable. So again, for me, it's just a sense of security and just a sense of freedom. Even though there are stresses that are involved with owning a business, and, and things that are complications that are unforeseen. Again, it's all part of the business. It's all part of growing. So,
and especially right now, you just have to be very considerate of other people's health.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
Especially right now, wearing masks, gloves, everything. I mean, not only for your health, but also for the customers.
Yeah, being considerate.
Obviously, you don't want to make them uncomfortable to where they don't actually call you back to for another service.
Yeah.
You want to make them feel
welcome,
comfortable, welcome. Just that you're taking in consideration their health as well.
Yeah.
And especially having employees with you. Everyone using hand sanitizer as soon as we're done with the vehicle, as soon as we get out of a vehicle, or we get down to go get food or whatever. Just wearing our masks, putting on hand sanitizer and all that good stuff. Just till all of this blows over. I mean, I know sooner or later, hopefully, this will all go away.
Yeah, hopefully.
And then everything will just pick right back up. And then that's just, we don't know how that's going to affect, I guess,
the business,
our businesses. Like, once these big car washing places open up, or like those easy drive-through car washers.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if my detailing business can go down, but if anything, you still have something else to back, to fall back on.
Yeah, for sure.
And if not, you make it work. I mean, you can always add more services.
Yeah, you have to adapt. 100%.
Yeah, or you have to definitely adapt. Definitely just keep everything rolling.
Yeah, for sure. Touching on that, not that it's super related. And I think we're going to touch on it with a different video. But Ruben and I differ in the way we collect payments from customers.
Yeah. Especially all online, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, all that good stuff.
So I guess we'll touch on it in the next video. But the biggest difference between Ruben and I don't like cash. I hate it. I don't do any cash transactions. Ruben doesn't mind.
Yeah.
And again, in the next video, we'll get to why we... Yeah, so like I mentioned... we share a difference, a big difference, I think, where when it comes to collecting from a customer, Ruben accepts cash and all other types of payment. I do not deal with cash. I don't like accepting cash as a form of payment. And this actually isn't like a preference because of all the pandemic and germs and whatever. It has nothing to do with that. I just personally think that we live in a digital age. And to be quite honest with you, I just don't like touching cash because I'm lousy with handling it. I lose it. I lose my wallet. Ruben can attest to that. I never have my wallet on me. So
yeah, it's a big factor. Cash. A lot of people are staying away from it right now.
Yeah.
They all ask like, "Oh, is there any way I could send you the money or Cash App your Venmo?" And we obviously do have that.
Yeah, because you gotta adapt.
Yeah, you have to adapt. It's either that or like you don't have business.
Yeah.
We're not up to the point where like we could have a little credit card reader or any of that stuff, but it would be cool to have that in the future.
Yeah.
But obviously we do take old-fashioned cash.
Yeah. Well, they do. I do.
Yeah, I do.
I don't touch it.
I do take old-fashioned cash just to I guess like for employee-wise, to pay them for the week or whatever. Yeah. And obviously it's a little more hassle because you have to go deposit it and then start sending it out and all that good stuff. Instead of taking the Venmo and then just instantly depositing it into your bank account. Yeah. But I mean, it's whatever.
Those are the differences.
Yeah.
And preferences. Honestly, there's no right way or wrong way of doing it.
Yeah.
But those are just the preference that we have. But again, we'll touch that on a different video and some other differences that we share in our businesses. So thank you for tuning in to another episode of From the Bottom. We highly appreciate the views. Thank you so very much. And we'll see y'all next time.
See y'all guys.